When it comes to DSCR loans, the big picture numbers matter, but so do the puzzle pieces that most loan officers overlook. FICO score thresholds, entity structures, and multi-unit property requirements can make or break a deal that looks perfect on paper. In this video, we break it all down. Let us start with FICO scores. Most people think a higher score is always better, and it is, but the pricing tiers do not work in single-point increments. They move in 20-point bands. Here's what that means. A borrower with a 699 FICO score is treated exactly the same as a borrower with a 680. They are in the same tier, the same interest rate, the same pricing. But a 701 score bumps them into the next tier. Better pricing, lower rate, stronger DSCR. A pro-level move. Always price conservatively. If a borrower claims a 720, estimate based on 700. Credit pulls sometimes come back lower than the borrower expects, and being caught pricing at 720 when the actual score is 712 can change a qualifying deal and make you have to resell them on different rate once we see their actual score. Also watch for thin credit profiles. A 760 FICO built on a single credit card held for 17 years does not tell the same story as a 760 backed by multiple trade lines, mortgages, and years of credit history. Some investors will penalize thin profiles even if the score looks strong. Entity structures are another deal maker or deal breaker that many loan officers underestimate. Some investors require all partners in a borrowing entity to have FICO scores above a specific threshold, regardless of ownership percentage. If one partner has a 640 score and another has a 780, some investors will use only the lower score and require a personal guarantee from the lower scoring partner. That personal guarantee results in a higher interest rate. Other investors will allow you to use the higher FICO score partner, but only if that partner has 50%, sometimes 80% ownership in the entity. This is why the entity structure needs to be addressed early in the conversation. Do not wait until underwriting discovers a problematic partner. Know the structure up front, price accordingly, and choose the right investor for that structure. Lease type also matters more than most people realize, and it can affect both approval and pricing. For long-term leases, a DSCR loan works best when the existing rent is above the appraiser's market rent estimate. Some investors will allow using the top 2 market rent estimates from the appraisal, which can help borderline deals clear the threshold. For newly signed leases, even if the rent is strong, some investors require proof of collected rent and up to 2 months of payment history before funding. Do not promise a quick close on a newly signed lease without checking the investor guidelines first. Single-family properties, 1 to 4 units, are generally treated similarly. But 2 to 4 unit properties can sometimes attract different pricing, higher rates, or lower leverage from certain investors. Know which investor handles your deal structure before you promise numbers to a borrower. Multi-unit properties bring an additional layer of complexity. Per-door value requirements. Every investor that handles multi-unit properties has a minimum per-door value threshold. For example, an investor working on 14-unit properties might require a minimum value of $125,000 per unit. If the appraisal comes back at $100,000 per door, even if the overall loan amount qualifies, the deal may be declined. This is especially critical when working in lower-cost markets where properties trade at compressed valuations. Always run the per-door math before presenting a deal to a borrower. It is also worth noting that multi-unit DSCR, properties with 5 or more units, typically moves into commercial loan territory. Underwriting guidelines, leverage, and investor appetite are different. Understand where the residential to commercial line is for your investor before you structure the deal. Let us wrap up with credit experience, because it plays a very different role in DSCR versus other investment loan products. For standard DSCR loans on rental properties, credit experience is less critical than you might think. The property qualifies itself. A first-time investor can get a DSCR loan if the numbers work, though our in-house product prefers borrowers who have some investing experience or who have compensating factors like significant liquid assets or property management background. But for fix and flip and new construction loans, experience drives approvals more than FICO scores. Investors want to see a track record. Without it, you may face lower leverage, higher rates, or an outright decline. Know what product you are selling, know what that investor values, and match the borrower to the right loan structure from the start. That is what separates good loan officers from great ones, and what this platform is designed to help you do every single time.